Hello my beautiful buds. Welcome back to my channel, Sprouts with Joy. My name is Joy, and if you'd like to talk about plants, you're in the right place. Well, spring is just around the corner and I could not be more excited. Oh my goodness. I think spring is definitely my favorite season. I just love it so much. And springtime is honestly a really good time to propagate. So today I decided that I'm gonna cut a bunch of my plants. I feel like it's nice to have propagations around in case you want to sell some plants or add the propagation back into the pot so that it's a fuller plant, or if you want to do trades, stuff like that. I just feel like as a whole, I like to have propagations around. Admittedly, I'm not really one of those people that loves to cut my plants. Like, I always feel bad and I want them to grow bigger, and it makes me sad to see like a nice part of the plant go away. So I know I don't know, I tend to be pretty hesitant with chopping my plants up, but today I'm going to chop some because I think it'll be good. It will be good. I'm telling myself that. It'll be okay. It's all good. So join me for some spring chopping. And I'm actually gonna try a couple of new things today. I wanna try, I'll do my normal sphagnum moss or water propagating, but I do want to try propagating using perlite and air layering, which is putting sphagnum moss like around a node and letting the roots grow and then cutting it after roots are already developed. So yes. Okay, to warm up, we're gonna start with an easy plant, the philodendron micans. She's so beautiful and full and lush. This will be a nice warm up for me so I don't feel so like anxious about it. So yes, let me give you a better angle here. All right, so there are some dying leaves, and honestly, look how pretty the leaves are even when they're dying. That's crazy. So I'm gonna chop those off just to give her a bit of a fresh start. Pruner, if you will. They're just old leaves, not a big deal. Okay, now the issue is, where do I cut? I can start cutting this longer vine here. I think I'll go ahead and cut here. Maybe, no, I don't know. I never know where to cut. Cut here. Oh, there's a new leaf coming, but it's okay. And I'll also cut a little bit more down this vine. Just a little bit. So I have another leaf. And maybe I'll do one more. I don't know, we'll have to see. There's a lot to choose from. Oh, look at that sunlight, that's so pretty. Oh my goodness. And let's go here. Here's the last one. Okay, so I'm gonna put all three of these in sphagnum moss. In this cup, I'm gonna kind of bunch them together and wrap the spag around the node there. All those little nodes, gently. And then it's just like a little cushion. And then I'm gonna be putting all of these guys in this bin and covering it up. So pretty. All right, this kills me a little bit, but I think I'm gonna propagate my Hoya mathilde. So I'm gonna wipe my scissors with alcohol, of course, sanitize. And I think I'm just gonna, so this is a really bare stem right here, and I'm pretty sure Hoya can grow roots all along that. So I'm just gonna cut this whole thing. And then it'll just have these two in the front, so let's just go for it. And Hoya have like this sap, oh gosh, the light is like right there. Hoya has this like sap that kind of comes out because they're, what's the word? Lactiferous or something. I think that's the word, lactiferous, that sounds right. They're lactiferous plants, so they've got like maybe latex, that sounds right to me. But yeah, So they ooze a little bit, but so I'm gonna start like this. And I'm just gonna pile some spag all around this gal. And maybe a little more. And I don't know what I'm gonna do. I might add this back into the pot when it grows roots, or I might use it for a trade or sell it or give it away. I don't know. I haven't really decided, but I figured that would be a good opportunity. So we've got a nice little Hoya Mathilde cutting. And the plant, I mean, looks fine. It's fine. Okay, so I'm actually gonna do my Brantianum next. She's been growing pretty nicely. Sorry about the sun. Like, I kind of like it and kind of hate it at the same time. But I'm gonna test out perlite propagation with this gal. So I just soaked a bunch of perlite for a couple of hours so it's nice and damp. And I'm also going to add like a layer of water, maybe up to here. I watched a lot of videos about this, but I don't really have experience. So you'll have to let me know if this is correct. But I think it's right. All right, so I'm gonna go add some water to this. Right, it's really, I don't know how well you can see, but it's really just a tiny layer, like up to here. And then, I don't know where to cut for this gal. I could pick one of the uglier leaves because it has some of those. But some of the newer leaves are not terrible, to be honest. All right, I sanitized these scissors, so now, I don't know. Maybe I'll just make the cut like right here, right below this node. So that's pretty. I've been thinking it might be fun to, oh, it's so easy, like how it just sticks right into the perlite. I like that. Okay, and then, okay. So right here. I've been thinking it might be fun to add, like create a terrarium and add Brantianum to it because they like humidity so much. All right, this is my green Maranta or Maranta kirchoviana. And okay, it's been putting out some of these new leaves that are absolutely huge and stunning. Do you see that? Oh my gosh. Like, it's so dark and luscious. So I don't know what I'm doing right, but I'm doing something right. But in general, I kind of want to take some cuttings just because it's kind of like, it's pretty full, but it's also kind of leggy. So I do want to add some back into the pot. Let's see. I think I'm gonna just take a cutting right here. They've got these little nubs that are their nodes. And that's what I love prayer plants, but you usually have to propagate them by division, which I don't like. But Marantas have little nodes. They're kind of hard to see, but you can tell there's just like a little bump. I may not have left enough space for this one, but there's definitely a node right here that should be fine. So I'll try that out and hopefully she'll be okay with that. But yeah, she's been spitting out so much new growth. It's super cool. So I'll just stick her right into this same story, just a layer of water at the bottom, and it's nice damp perlite. So we'll see how she does in that. All right, I don't know if I can fit her into the frame, but you guys, my begonia maculata whitey eye, are you kidding me? She's so pretty. I think I'm gonna have to take some cuts. It might be nice to pull out the pot a little bit. Here, let me change the angle for this. Okay, look at her. Look. Oh my gosh. Okay, so begonia maculata, or begonias in general, like cane begonias, are super cool because you can propagate them from a lot of points on the plant. Like even, so I don't know how well you can see this, but this leaf fell off and I just stuck it into the soil. And now it's growing babies out of it. Do you see that? Do you see that right there? So it's growing 2 new baby leaves out of that. Just, you know, it was just a stem, like right here, that broke off. But you can also just propagate them right, like a 1/4 inch above a leaf. Like that also works out really well. So, I don't know. I'm gonna need a trellis for this gal, to be honest. She's getting so big. But I think I'm gonna take a cut like right here near the top, and she'll branch out and be fine. But let's do this. Ta-da! So that's one little cut. I think I'm gonna take two, because I'll do one in sphagnum moss and I'll do one in perlite. Although I could just do like a single leaf cutting. I don't know. I don't know. Guys, what do I do? Let's just... okay. Alright, and she's got a new leaf on the way right there as well. Oh my gosh, this plant is so stunning, you guys. Seriously, one of my favorite plants ever. So she has a haircut, but she's still really pretty. Okay, so let's do one in sphagnum moss. Maybe this one. You can see my face now. Hi. So I think that this should be fine. The bottom is just kind of stuck in the moss and, you know, she's chilling. All right, and here's the perlite. Same story as ever. This one has kind of a lot of water in it, but it's probably fine. Hopefully she'll be okay. Okay, so there we go. There's the two of them. Super cute. Here's my beautiful Syndapsis pictus exotica. Where do I want to make the cut, you guys? I don't know. Looks like that already came off at one point. It looks like she's actually been propagated quite a bit in the past. All right, let's do a piece right here. It'll just be a 2-leaf cutting. Okay, like that. It's a cutie. Smaller leaves. Like that. I might add another piece in here if I can find a good place to cut. So this leaf is really awkward and wonky. Sticking her in there. There we go. Cute. All right, next I'd like to propagate this variegated string of hearts. I think I'm just gonna cut right around here. And I have this Adansonii propping in water, but I want to use this vessel for the string of hearts. So I'm gonna switch this over. I think he'll be happier anyways. It's got some nice roots forming. There he is. I'm gonna get some new water for this. Just make a cut here. And I'm probably gonna have to remove a couple of these leaves to expose a node. So that's probably good enough. I need to add some more water, so I'll do that, but yeah. All right, next I think I wanna try air layering my Florida Ghost. Yes, it is the next day. My battery ran out and my husband and I were going out yesterday evening, so I just didn't have the time to sit around waiting for it to charge, and both my batteries were out because my husband had to use my camera earlier that day and they just, yeah, he ran through them, so that's besides the point, but let's just continue air layering these last few plants. All right, so this is my philodendron Florida Ghost. I have some plant Velcro and this little bamboo stake thing because I'm thinking I will do, let's see, right here there's some pretty juicy aerial roots. So I was thinking maybe I'll do the air layering right here. And if you don't know what air layering is, basically you're adding sphagnum moss around a node and kind of holding it together with cling wrap, and that will encourage the aerial roots to grow without you having to chop up the plant, if that makes sense. You don't necessarily have to take cuttings and propagate your plant by, you know, doing what I've just been doing for the last like 10 minutes or however long this video is, and that way you're not running the risk of the propagation failing. That is a nice perk, and for a person like me that does not like taking risks and chopping my plants up, that's a very comforting thing. So admittedly though, I've never done it before, so I'm probably gonna be awkward with this, but I figure the stake will be good for support because it's gonna weigh down the plant. This is a really good option, particularly for plants that are more expensive that you don't wanna chop up because you're afraid, like I am. This leaf is just about to come out. That's kind of fun. I don't know how well you can see that. So I don't know, maybe I don't wanna air layer that one if that leaf is just about to come out. I could do this other
section. It also has a new leaf coming in, but it's not quite as far along. Yeah, I think I'm gonna pivot. I'm gonna do the other one. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead. I think I wanna secure the plant first. These were just 2 scrap pieces that I had laying around. Okay. If you haven't used plant Velcro before, it's really nice. Hey, Al, I need you to move, buddy. It just attaches, and it's a piece of Velcro, but it's like tape, kinda, but reusable. I'll just start piling spag around and see what happens. I don't know how well you can see what's going on, to be honest. Let me zoom in. Okay. Is that maybe a little bit better? Just a little bit? And then I just have this saran wrap, or cling wrap, whatever you call it. And I'm just gonna bring it around gently. I know those leaves are kind of in the way. Maybe there. And I'm just wrapping it tightly. Not like too tight to where it's like suffocating the plant, but like, you know, I'm keeping it snug. So this part is pretty exposed. I may have to like go in with a squirt bottle and moisten the moss from time to time, but I'm just gonna take a piece of plant Velcro because I have it right here and do that to kind of just hold it all together. Well, it's not the prettiest thing ever, but I think it'll work. That one little node is all encased, and yeah, it'll be nice. Okay, so that's one down. So I was also thinking that I want to air layer my Monstera Peru. Let me show you a full view of her. Like that. I've heard of some people having problems with rooting Monstera Perus during the propagation process. They just tend to be kind of slow. So I figured, why not just, I mean, I've had a lot of success with this plant so far, but I don't, hey Jenny, I don't want that success to, you know, go away. And I'm not entirely sure what I'll do. I don't know what I'll do with this propagation, assuming it's successful. I might add it back into the pot because there is currently only one vine. If someone wants to trade for it, I would also be willing to make a trade, but we'll see. I don't know, I feel like all those plans are very presumptuous of me because I don't know if it's actually gonna work or not. I'm putting some more plant Velcro because this vine actually still needs to be kind of secured. So I'm gonna do that first. I guess the best place could be right here because it's just one leaf, but there is a new leaf on the way. And this one leaf is pretty small, to be honest. And that might be due to lack of light because it's been winter time. But also, I mean, she hasn't embedded any of her aerial roots into this moss pool, so she's climbing, but I don't know that if she's getting the real benefit of climbing yet. So I have this clumsily ripped cling wrap. To be honest, it's a little bit awkward to do. Like, it's intuitive enough, but it's not very natural because you have to like put the moss on and wrap at the same time. I'm sure there's a better way to do this than what I'm doing, by the way, but I'm also worried about camera angles, which you won't have to worry about. So I think that will be helpful. Because I'm trying to give you a good look, but I can't see it. I want to have enough moss that the roots, like a lot of roots can grow, but not too much that it's gonna like burden the plant. This moss pool's already honestly kind of way too big. It's leaning up against the wall, so I think that helps a little bit. I don't know if I should try to add more. I might experiment with this a little bit more over the next few weeks, depending on how successful this is. I'm also terrified of snapping a leaf because I feel like that's a risk that comes with this territory. Okay. I might need to like tape this one together. I feel like that will generally be good enough. Again, it's not very attractive, but we'll see how it works. I'll keep you guys updated. I've seen it work really well for a lot of people. This honestly might not be enough moss for the roots to grow up substantially, but if it needs more and if it's working, I might go in and add more moss later. But this is a good place to start, I think. All right, we're back down here. This is my philodendron squamiferum. And I'm a little bit undecided as to whether or not I want to try propagating this guy. I don't think I'm going to, but there are a lot of nodes and there's like an auxiliary bud down here. And this might not be a good idea, but I kind of want to experiment with this because I've seen some people do this before. I kind of want to add a bunch, like a wad of sphagnum moss at the base here to encourage some root growth. The plant is not really utilizing this space for leaves as much, and I just kind of want to encourage it to start growing a more robust root system, because more roots means a stronger plant and bigger leaves, and then I'll just cover up the rest of this with soil when it's ready. But I want to encourage root growth down there and see if something happens. I am a little bit undecided as to whether or not I want to add cling wrap to the base of this or just diligently water it or soak it. I think I might add cling wrap just, or at least see what it would look like with it. I'm gonna like cut a long skinny-ish strip here. Am I the only one that like hates cutting cling wrap and dealing with it? It just frustrates me. Okay. Maybe I'll also add a little piece of tape. That's easy enough. So this is not, I don't know that I would call this air layering technically. It's the same concept, but it's not for the purpose of propagating necessarily. It's just promoting some root growth. Well, I think that that's pretty much everything I wanted to propagate today. Well, over the last 2 days technically. So, I mean, thank you for bearing with me, that little debacle. So, I had a lot of fun experimenting with perlite propagation and with air layering, so I'll be sure to give you guys some updates on that and how that's going in a future video. And in general, I don't usually like cutting my plants just because I get so anxious about it. And I like how they look when they're big and pretty, but I think as a whole, it was a really good decision to take some cuts and the plants will grow back, and that's kind of the beauty of plants. That's a pretty incredible thing. Honestly, propagating is one of my favorite things to do with my plants, even though like I don't like actually physically cutting them. It just hurts my soul a little bit. I think it'll be really good to have these propagations on hand for this spring and summer when trades will happen a lot more, and I don't know, it'll be good. So this is just the beginning. I might muster up the bravery to cut some other plants, and then if that's the case, maybe I'll include it in another video. But yeah, thank you so much for joining me. If you liked this video, please feel free to like and comment and subscribe, or even follow me on Instagram because I like to chat with you guys there as well. Obviously, there's no pressure to do any of those things, but I just recently hit 500 subscribers on this channel, which is absolutely mind-boggling. It's so crazy to think that 500 people liked my videos enough to subscribe to them and subscribe to my channel, and that's honestly a huge honor, and I don't take that for granted at all. So thank you guys so much for your support and for building this community with me. And honestly, I genuinely enjoy making these videos. It's like the highlight of my week. It's a great creative outlet in the midst of working and being a mom and taking care of the house and all of the other things that life has. I think that that's pretty much all I have to say. I hope that you have a wonderful and blessed day. Bye-bye!